Good afternoon, Tim.
Yeah, hi, Sherman.
How are
Good
you?
to be talking with you again.
Yeah, great to see you. For all of our listeners, I'm here with Tim Moody. Tim Moody's the Chief Executive Officer of Pan Global Resources. We got Mr. Tim Moody here on the floor of a conference in Sevilla. Great to see you, Tim.
Yeah, likewise, Sherman. It's been quite an interesting mining conference in Seville. I have it every 2 years, and it's absolutely packed with people. It's really good to see. So the mining industry is alive and well in southern Spain.
So yeah, good introduction, Tim. Tim is in southern Spain, and we're actually here to talk about Pan Global Resources, which of course is a very exciting Spanish copper discovery company. Just a bit of a follow-up, Tim. It's great that we got a few minutes together this morning. I mean, we did a very successful webinar a couple of weeks ago, and since then you've made this news release on a 20,000 meter, or the sort of continued expansion and update on the 20,000 meter drill program. And for all of our listeners, a 20,000 meter drill program is significant, and it's going to allow the company to go out and test 2 new targets, which Tim can talk to us about this afternoon, which is our morning. It's this nice, beautiful morning here in British Columbia, Tim, compared to your afternoon in southern Spain. We're still benefiting from very warm weather here in the Okanagan, but it's I think it's soon to turn to more wintry conditions. But yeah, what a great opportunity just to get an update from you, Tim, and I guess the other thing, in addition to your quick update for all of our listeners and followers of Pan Global, is to talk a little bit. I mean, you're at this conference. We continue to read different reports on the looming shortage of copper, and we look at different reports that now are talking about potential recessions, and how does this all affect the global demand of copper? And because as we all know in the investment business, I mean, copper is one of the granddaddies out there in terms of what's demanded globally. So I'd love to hear a little bit of your comments on the global copper price and your expectations. And I guess the last thing is just how significant the Iberian Pyrite Belt is for copper discoveries. And we all know in the investment business and in the mining business that grade is, we always say grade is king. And, I just to overall enhance our understanding of how significant copper is, and in particular in southern Spain when it comes to the Iberian Pyrite Belt, which was where Rio Tinto got started. So I guess those 3 things is an update from your point of view on Pan Global, and the news it's been very well received, by the way. The stock is showing some good strength, and the update on the drill program, the copper price, and the Iberian Pyrite Belt.
Yeah, no problem. All right, thanks, Sherman. I'll try and squeeze all of that in. But look, the update we put out, the last news release, was really just announcing that we've begun drilling on two new targets. You might recall that earlier in the year, we announced that we were going to drill 20,000 metres, continue to expand our La Romana copper and tin discovery, which we've been doing. And we also set the objective to test 6 new targets within our property package. So we're now, with the last news release, we're now up to target number 4 and 5. With our first drill holes going in at the Sarcita target in the north of our property package, and our first drill hole going into the Bravo Norte target. So I'll just say a little bit about both those opportunities. As I say, they're just 2 in a large suite of copper drill targets that we've got either ready to drill or we're still working on, and we expect to be drilling, if not this year, sometime next year. These two particular targets, really quite exciting targets. I mean, the Sarcita one in particular, it's 3 sort of parallel trends of coincident geophysics In the centre of that are some old mine workings, and we've got a large, extensive copper soil geochemistry anomaly. So, when you've got so many indicators all lining up, it really makes for a very strong target. We'd initially planned just 11 holes on that target. We've now increased that to 16, and I think that's still only just scratching the surface. And just to add that the dimensions of the targets, it's more than twice the strike length of the Laramana discovery that we've had all our success on so far. So it's a big target, very exciting, and we really look forward to seeing the drill results coming in from that. The other target's it's a gravity anomaly with an IP or geophysics chargeability anomaly coinciding with the peak of that target. So it's all undercover. There's no rock sticking out of the ground. So it's just a simple test at this stage, and I expect we'll have more work to do in that area. But it's just a first look at what is causing that gravity anomaly. As I said, we've already tested, put the first few holes into 3 of our new targets, and we're waiting for results on those. Those include the La Jarosa target, the Hornitos target, where I mentioned in previous news release that we have hit some mineralisation there as well, and we also did a couple of holes at the Pilar North gravity. There's a lot of news to come in yet. Really exciting couple of drill targets that I announced in the last news release, and we've got exciting times ahead of us, I hope. I just to also add that we're adding a third rig. Got enough drilling, enough drill sites to have 2 rigs running at Saucito, and then put 1 drill rig on the Laramana Norte target as well, which is coming up soon. So, should we get access or have success on any of these targets, we'll look to add more drill rigs. Fortunately, we have the funds in hand to be able to expand the program on the back of any good results.
I was just going to mention to those that are listening, boy, it just doesn't. I mean, from an investment point of view, it just doesn't get any better than that when you've got drill results that are pending, on very significant targets that are well known, and you got new targets, and you've got additional drill rigs. Wow, great work, Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Sharon. So I guess the next question was next 2 questions. One was on the copper outlook, and the other was on the pirate belt. Perhaps I'll start on.
And I guess I know they're not small topics, so I'm not trying to keep you all day, but I think it's just really important. From taking from a very simple point of view is, and I'm sure that everybody's fully aware of, the significance of this trend in terms of that there's a supply shortage, and then there's increasing demand, and, the copper price at 340-ish or whatever it is a pound is just not, sustainable. I mean, clearly, just to highlight what you see going on. I mean, you're at this conference, and then also just how important Spain is in southern Spain, and in terms of the history of copper discovery.
Okay, well, I'll do my best in the short term, but I've talked about the first part of the discussion, really telling you we've already got a discovery, and we've got a bunch of other targets, multiple other opportunities to make additional discoveries. So that's the significance of the update in the last news release. In addition to that, we've got the funding to really continue at it at a hard pace. This next part, really, the location, being in the Iberian Pirate Belt, it is the most significant volcanogenic massive sulfide district in the world by just about every measure. It has more of these, what they call supergiant, very large volcanogenic massive sulfide deposits than any other similar district in the world. It has produced more. It had more mines. It's produced more metal than any of the equivalent VMS districts anywhere in the world. Every inch of it is covered with mineralized today, and there's at least 7 large operating mines in the belt with major operators. So yeah, it's a really important belt, and it's being actively explored by many companies. Lots of drilling going on. It's got excellent infrastructure, skilled workforce, access to international laboratories, all of the things that you'd look for, and it's a mining friendly jurisdiction. And in terms of the history, this is a metallurgic province, a mining province that's been more or less continuously mined for over 3,000 years. They're busy there. It was being mined before that. It's been it's an amazing mining district. So you've got perhaps one of the largest VMS deposit in the world, where the company Rio Tinto began. Now Atalaya are currently mining there. That mine's just 25 kilometres in a straight line from our property to the west. To the east, to the east of us, about 12 to 15 kilometres, is the Las Cruces deposit, which is being operated by First Quantum. That was one of the world's highest grade open pit copper mines in the world. Right next door to us, in fact, the edge of the old Asnel Koyar open pit, which was one of 2 mines that were right next door to us by Boliden many years ago for copper and zinc. The edge of one of those pits is just 600 metres from our property boundary. So, we're surrounded by some pretty big mines and deposits, and I think that just adds to the prospectivity of the piece of ground that we're on. But phenomenal. The other big mine in the belt that a lot of people may have heard of is Neves-Corvo. Copper and tin was Europe's largest tin mine for many years. It's 300 million tonnes, mining very high grade copper, and it's also got zinc and other metals with it as well. So amazing metal belt. We're right in the heart of it in the terms of being surrounded by other mines.
And I know that you and I have talked about this before, and I've when you look at the market caps of, for example, Lundin Mining and First Quantum, and then I've done the math. You look at these operations that they have in Spain, like Neves-Corvo, for example, for Lundin, accounts to about 15% of their total revenue. So these are significant operations for the total Lundin Mining Group, as it is for First Quantum. So what an amazing area. So I just wanted to really get highlight how important southern Spain is. Sometimes we don't realize where the extensiveness of the Iberian Pyrite Belt.
Well, I think the key thing for investors is we're well located in this pretty amazing belt. It's got some tremendous mines. So location is really important, and we've got a great location for our project. That just underlines the potential, sitting behind all these many targets that we've got in our portfolio.
Right. Just maybe to wrap up, just talk a little bit about copper price, because that's also a big elephant in the room. The market, as most of the juniors these days are being affected by metal price, all the things. So the copper price is a bit down at the moment, which is I guess I can only be optimistic about the potential of copper in the medium and long term, because the underlying thesis here is that the world is, if it's going to meet these very big emissions targets that have been set, you're going to need a lot more copper, no matter which way you look at it. And at this stage, there is not enough copper mining going on to meet that future demand. More mines are going to have to be added. So, without more spending, without more discoveries, the copper price is just it's got to rise at some point. Well, and I totally agree, Tim. And I think, people need to recognize that there's been an underinvestment in capital in the copper business, and how important, a significant discovery in the Iberian Pyrite Belt could be, because those are the kind of assets that, the majors are going to be chasing, because they can bring them on into production and in a relatively short period of time, and in a very mining friendly district. So I think it's real big advantage pan global, having a discovery like you do.
Yeah, well, I think obviously lithium is one of those metals at the moment that's doing very well, and companies with good lithium projects are doing good on the back of the growing demand for lithium batteries and so on, and electrification. But and these projections of demand for lithium are quite spectacular. But I think what's missing there is that it can't achieve those that growth in the lithium market without more copper being used.
Yeah,
so
right.
Need copper to to transport the energy to the places where the batteries get charged. All of the electric vehicles, whether it be cars, trucks, trains, they all need lots of copper.
Lots of copper.
So I think it's an industrial metal. It can't help but be something that's going to be in very high demand going forward. But at the moment, we're just in a bit of a low period. But there's the opportunity, I think, for investors.
There's the opportunity, absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Tim. I've been here with the last little bit here with Tim Moody, the Chief Executive Officer of Pan Global Resources, an very exciting copper discovery company in the Iberian Pyrite Belt in southern Spain. So, any final words, Tim? And want to wish you a great conference. I think it's just about over, but I think you've had a good couple of days there.
Yeah, and we've given a couple of talks. Our booth has been really busy. There's lots of interest, and as I say, it's the conference is absolutely buzzing. It's the third time I've been to this particular conference, and there's more people here than I've ever seen at it before. And it's really, really active. Great to see.
That's great to see. I'm going down to LA in November. There's a anode electrification conference in Los Angeles, which is going to be a big show. So it's an exciting time for investors, and what a great time to be buying, given that the junior market has been at some of the lowest levels that we've seen in a while.
Well, thanks very much, Jim, and great talking to you.
Great talking to you, Tim. Have fun.
Yeah, all the best.